Come with us as we preview Universal Orlando's epic universe, Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic. This is part 3 in the series. So let's head through the next portal. Great attention to detail on these portals at night. The tip of the wand does line up, so it's pretty cool. So for In Dreams we enter a world that is entirely our own. And once you enter the portal, again, these screens continue to move. It feels very magical as it transports you into France. And then, like, the subway tiles look like they have been there forever. They look dirty and grimy and well aged. All of the signage that you see written in French. There's maps of the metropolitan area. Super cool. And then again, you are faced with the choice to go left or right. And generally speaking, I will always head left. As you exit what feels like you're exiting the subway in Paris, you met with what is essentially feels like the Art Deco. So it's pretty cool to walk into this grand scale, kind of iconic architecture here. And again, notice the detail on the facade, how it looks like it's been there forever, well aged. Looks like you're working with huge limestone blocks. The pavement, or the brick on the street, again, is another thing that looks like it's been there forever. And it feels like you are walking down the sidewalk in just off of Champs-Élysées. Lots of cafes. It feels pretty darn authentic. Lots of attention to details we've come to expect from Universal Creative. Once you make it through the kind of main street here, we'll take a look at this in just a little bit, but the first attraction here is the Cirque Arcanus, and so I will forever laugh because I am 12 and I just look at Arcanus and giggle. But the show times vary throughout the day, and the queue extends back and behind here. So it doesn't look like there's a long queue, but the queue goes behind the buildings that you're looking at on the right there. There's only 2 main attractions in this area. However, pretty much every single storefront has an attraction. Wands are interactive with a lot of the parts of this area. Right here, we're having a good giggle. Again, I'm gonna keep reminding anybody watching this that this is a preview, so not everything is functioning the way it's expected to on May 22nd when it officially opens. This team over here is doing a fantastic job of trying to assess, is it the user is not doing the wand correctly? Is there something wrong with the actual attraction here? Is there an issue? And so he tries himself a few times and still can't get it to work. And so he does a great job of continuing in his role and saying, actually, this animal is super tired at the moment, and so I'm sure that it'll function later. But then what happens later is it's not ready to work. So they did a nice job of kind of moving away from there and bringing team members to other areas that are functioning properly. So as you head down towards this end, again, lots of gift shops, but lots of magic can happen within these window facades. And there is an interactive experience down here with the water fountain, and again, you see some young wizards playing with the experience, and you can see that it's quite interactive. Water spits out, guests were getting wet, they were having fun with it. And it wasn't just the young folks that were playing, there were older folks as well playing with the wands. From what I understand, old wands also function, so you don't necessarily need a brand new wand, but they seem to be quite popular. So pretty cute. I get lots of shade in this area just because of how high the building facades are. Then as we turn to the right, here is the big huge e-ticket, if you will. So the Ministry of Magic, and there's guest waiting because it's a virtual queue. The virtual queue releases 3 times a day. Once you get in though, you're met with essentially another subway entrance, and so you begin walking to the subway, and knows how long these queues are. It is ready to hold an absolute ton of people. I was certainly not complaining. It was good temperature in here, knowing it was 90 degrees outside, so the queue was almost welcome. Here you see some special effects happening. This is a merge point, and dab at the end there is a team member asking you how many are in your party, and then they send you off through the appropriate tunnel. And so he sends me to 902, and magic happens. And now I'm in a whole other area. And I enter the Ministry of Magic, and I assume this is all going to be full of switchbacks before too long. Lots of queuing area, and just so many details here. The attention to detail by Universal Creatives team, kudos. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan, but this was amazing. It's a lot of pre-shield area, but as you can see, it changes a little bit, but it helps to place it in the correct setting. The ceiling is dynamic, and then all the details inside of the various offices. If this does become switchback queues at any point, there's going to be plenty to look at and kind of appreciate while you are waiting. Back here, you're able to see some more special effects, and these are switchbacks already. So this will be queuing area. Here you see the team member. He is checking for your virtual queue pass, and then he'll let you on to the attraction. And then once you're off the ride, you exit through the same type of portal. And suddenly we are back in France. And like all good attractions, when you exit, you are greeted by a gift shop. Obviously I didn't buy anything, but again, great attention to detail here. When you look at the flooring, the doors squeak, like intentionally. Merchandise is pretty basic at the moment. Putting it outside again, look at the weathering on the door and the wall. Like, these look like they've been here for decades or centuries. Just really, really cool attention to detail by the team. Again, the icon to the ground by this gentleman, understanding that denotes that magic happens there. And so you see him casting spells. This particular special effect, no matter where I stood, he looks like he's looking at me. And I stood there for about 4 minutes, and I moved from left to right, and constantly it was like he was looking at me, so that was a weird situation. Here we have another wizard. You'll see he's stepped up near that spot, and I come on the ground, and he's making the band play. And again, there's a team member available to instruct and teach you how to cast your spells effectively to get each instrument playing. And again, lots of pictures and appreciation of the attention to detail that was placed on these facades. Butterbeer. This was a little bit later in the evening, and I just wanted to see what it looked like illuminated. Here's our Cirque show. And then great photo ops, obviously. But here's the queue to the Cirque show along the left here, so you can see that it is meant to hold an awful lot of people as well. Again, times varied. Throughout the day, it was running like every, I think, 45 minutes. Then again, lots of restaurants, bars, photo ops, and magic. So while there's only 2 main attractions in the land, there's still a lot to do between all the different places to take photos, but certainly the magic that happens, the spells you can cast in front of the different window facades, there's dozens of them. The candy shop was not opened when I was able to preview. And you see lots of other nerds like me recording everything because it's just so wonderfully overwhelming, and guest capacity is so low that you actually get to appreciate every square inch of the land and all that Universal Creative put into it. So down at the end of this block, there's another photo up. There's no official team member there taking pictures, but there was a team member that was happy to grab a camera or phone and take a picture for some guests. You see a wizard on the right here, she's casting some spells. So this little up is obviously going to be very popular. There's a tunnel there to the right. We'll go check that out in just a minute. But first, we're going to stop at Bar Moonshine. Lots of details on the facade. Across the way, again, more magic, more magic, more magic. Pretty much every window facade is going to have people casting spells. So once I get inside, I ordered the Lobe Blaster, as did a couple of guests behind me. Right now, these are all like handcrafted cocktails or some beer on tap and some non-alcoholic beverages on tap as well. But once capacity is unleashed, starting on May 22nd, I don't know how they can sustain handcrafting every cocktail and not going into a pre-batched of some sort. So here she is taking great care and time, and she is, again, handcrafting the base of our Lobe Blaster cocktail. It takes a while, and so this is why I'm hopeful they don't go to pre-batch, but just logistically, how can you not for a while? How busy these guys are going to be. She adds our garnish and brings it over, and then she's going to add the special potion to our drink, and she'll give us a spiel about what it does.
I have 3 Lobe Blasters. Are you guys all ready to get that Lobe blasted?
Yes, yeah. Is that the forgetful?
It does, yes. So this does have the bewitching element to it. With that being said, please no broom riding. Use our metro fluid if possible. If not, there is always a port key. Cheers, my dears.
A Lobe Blaster. That's pretty fun. Little show.
So now we head back through the archway and take a look at some more Harry Potter scenes. But again, store facades all have people casting spells. There's a lot going on. I can't even imagine how crazy, insane busy this is going to be, and how many people will be trying to cast spells at the same time. So good luck to park operations in figuring that out. When there is no spell available, they tell you there's an anti-jinx in front of it at the moment. And so that pretty much wraps up the Harry Potter's and Ministry of Magic area. Definitely appreciate you watching, and this is part of the other 5-part series.